Hey guys, Virginia here, Makerspace Coordinator and Chief Imaginator Extraordinaire. I would like to welcome you to the COLAB, the Central Ontario Laboratory, where we use ideation, research, entrepreneurship, and social innovation to fuel your amazing ideas and create lasting change. We are here to educate, inspire, and activate. Prepare to educate yourself with seasoned mentors, be inspired by compelling voices, and activate your plan for success. Welcome to the COLAB. Okay, so I guess we should probably start off with an introduction. Nicole, I would like to welcome you to the COLAB today. Today, you have joined us to talk about social innovation, which I'm really excited about. Jamie, any notes?
Well, I'm Jamie Dorn. I'm the Executive Director, Research, Innovation, Entrepreneurship at Georgian College. I'm really happy to have you here, Nicole, and can't wait to hear what we're going to learn about social innovation.
Thanks. I hope you do learn something about social innovation, considering it's my job title.
What is your job title?
Tell us. My job title is, okay, hold on. It's the manager of the Center for Changemaking and Social Innovation. So I got, yeah.
All right, so we're gonna cut to Virginia's super duper ridiculously hard questions, which I'm gonna just start off with. Nicole, what is social innovation? Like in the plainest way that you can say it, what is social innovation?
I would say it's innovation or new ideas or new things that happen that were built by people for people with people in mind.
I like that. See, that's good.
Yeah, that's nice and simple.
Nice and simple, and it's really easy for a lot of people to understand. My second question, which would be, the even harder one, is like, why should people want to join social innovation? What makes social innovation important to this day and time in the world?
Why would people want to join social innovation? Well, let's think about that for a second. So I would probably say, if you were to sit down in your life and strip away all the things that were not important, like got really honest and stripped away and said, what are the things that are the most important to you in your life, right? You'd probably find it wasn't stuff, right? Unless it's like a mentor or something, but it still connects you to something. And then I said to you, okay, so these are the things that are important to you. Now go out into the world and let the systems that we've built in the world destroy them. Would social innovation now become important to you to make sure that you're protecting those things that are the most important? And that's why I would say to you, so why is it important to you? Because in a lot of ways, it's saving, protecting, safeguarding our own humanity.
That's deep.
You just sort of goosebumps.
Steep and terrifying.
Sorry. Well, that's a little dramatic. but
yeah, I think you could boil it down to that.
What's important to you? When it really boils down, it might not be a haircut on the stairs of Michigan's state building, but it will be your family that you and the connections that you have or have lost, right? Maybe. So yeah, I think that's what somebody said to me, like this. It's funny because I spent 20 years in corporate, building the packaging and the products that probably have contributed in a lot of ways to the degradation of our environment, and that's my own atonement because I just didn't know. But, when my son came into the world, I was sort of like, well, what is it that I want to leave behind for my son? What do I want my son to say about his mom? Like, do I want him to say, like, I was a designer, or that the work that I did, he's like, I don't know what she did, but whatever it was, she made a difference in the world. Right.
Yep.
That was kind of how I came to it. But
I like that. Just make a difference in the world.
How about you guys? Why would you join us in social innovation?
I mean, I do like the idea of saving our humanity. I'm not going to lie. With everything that's been going on right now, there's been a huge pull to be closer together when we're supposed to be so far apart. like physically, but mentally I see a whole lot more like safety nets opening up for people. I see a whole lot more like openness of being able to just talk about what's going on. And instead of having like, these raging arguments, it's like, okay, well, this is, how can we change it? And then that's the question. People actually asking, how can we change it? And how can we make a change?
Yeah, and I think too that what the COVID thing has done, or the shutdown has done, is forced us to look at some things that were happening for a long period of time, where we either just got so used to them, or we were just ignoring them. And now that, in shutdown, we're actually being forced to see them. And some of it is as simple as, what you do with your day, how many hours there are in a day, and how you structure your day, and how you accomplish all your tasks. And we're realizing that the 9 to 5 thing is an old idea, and maybe we could do all work differently and make it better for people. And then there's of course all the big social issues and that relate to racism and discrimination that are built into a lot of our systems. And we know that if we built companies, because pretty much all of society is built around the activity of commerce, if we built companies differently, then those systems will naturally change too. And we then become used to a new way and a better way.
Yeah. No, I think, and I think now, like, I think you've opened up a really great point that it's actually giving us permission to look at new ways of commerce and trade, right? Like when you think about a business model and you think about transaction of value, right? So you think about the revenue model, like revenue and exchange of value just doesn't happen with, here's $1, here's my product, or like in a platform model, like I'm looking for something, you find it for me. There's also like, there's all this amazing, even the cooperative movement, right? Like, so one of the largest companies in the world is Mondragon. It's a 100% a cooperative. It's owned, like they have a university, they have like everything, right? And when you think about the success, and they're written up wildly, and you think about that, like, well, why couldn't we have different models of governance and transaction and ownership? And who's doing some really cool stuff with that is out of the University of Waterloo and the Legacy Lab. So what was really interesting there was they started to look, pre-COVID, they were looking at succession plans for businesses. And then obviously COVID happened, and they were sort of like saying, okay, well, now maybe it's succession through business recovery, right? So all the baby boomers or people that had owned businesses, like they were actually trying to encourage people to actually work through and transition their business into cooperative models. So giving the business back to the employees, and so when you say like, where are their resources and what's a local idea, or what are ways of doing it? Like some of that just might be in the ownership structure that you decide to have in your company, as opposed to, I'm just going to buy, sustainable goods now. It might just be a true democratic, like, hey, these employees built this company with me. Maybe it's time to look at how the ownership is distributed, right? They are there. They started their coffee shop because they cared. They hire people, and I know the owners of the businesses are up late at night because they realize, like, they're putting food on people's families, or food on people's families. Right? That's awesome. They're putting food on families' tables. So is that like a plus?
We're keeping that.
I think, you could just say, hey, if you want more local examples, because we didn't really get to it, check out Senko's website. That's all the local,
I'm going to use that.
Fantastic.
Right there.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to do it myself. I'm going to use that right there. That's how we're doing.
Check out Senko's website for the latest examples of social enterprise in our area and region.
So, Nicole, would you like to do the honors of telling people to like and subscribe to our page today?
Absolutely. If you have not figured this out yet, you must like and subscribe to this podcast. If you don't, you are going to be missing innovation at its finest.
Yes.
Yes, excellent.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Nicole, for joining us today. You have been an absolute treat, and I learned quite a bit.
Yes, thank you so much for making us think deeply about this topic and how important it is for people and businesses to consider this and think about it.